That got me thinking about technology, right? We all use technology with our work, and predominantly it's created in the West. And then we're telling stories that are inherently Asian.
Right.
Do you find conflict there, or do you think that it is quite seamless?
I grew up with technology as well myself. I love technology. It's made our lives so much better, and it's one of the things that allowed me to be able to reach out to the world, to see what the world is doing out there, going to international forums, going to international websites to learn about animation and comic books, and then get acquainted with international friends, and then getting the opportunity to go outside to study abroad. We cannot live without technology anymore, so it's a part of our lives right now. So I don't think there's any conflict there, but at the same time, I don't feel the obligation to absolutely have to incorporate every single new technology out there into my work. I only use them if I find them to be useful for my work, and also to if I find them to align with my moral values as well, because you know that there are technologies out there that are very questionable in terms of the moral baseline of what they are built from. So I cannot live without technologies, but at the same time, I have the responsibility to choose the technology that serve me the best and allow me to be my authentic selves, especially when it comes to expressing myself through my work.
So essentially not allowing technology to dictate your creativity, right? Exactly. Do you feel the same?
I agree. I completely agree. And but I also think it's something that really how to say it, like I mean, technology is amazing. It is great. It's the way that I can be a filmmaker, like independent filmmaker in such era, is completely different from how a person can become a filmmaker like 20 years, 30 years ago. Like technology brings everything getting more easy to access, you know, more flexibility, more accessibility. For example, like we have 2 camera Blackmagic here. I mean, like Blackmagic have or any like the small size like camera has really being the revolution for filmmaking to me. That when everybody can control their narrative and can control their tool, is also the first step to control your voice and your narrative. So that's what I completely agree.
Technology actually empowers you to tell your story.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's true.
Right.
Empower you, not detected you. That's the right word.
Now, how do you two see the use of AI now in a lot of what we do?
Oh my God, we just talked about that before.
We just talked about
we just talked about it, to be honest. Yeah.
It's a very
it's a very touchy subject. I want to take on this. This is something that I think about a lot. So anyone who follows me on social media will know I talk about this a lot, and I have a lot of strong opinions about it. I don't use it. But specifically, I don't use generative AI, because I put a lot of time into studying what it was built from. And when I found that out, I understand that you cannot escape that baseline of that technology. It was built on something that is not morally in line with what I believe in. So I decided very early on, like 3 years ago, that I would not use it in my work, because however they are trying to change it or morph it into different types and different models. Some people will say that you can put your own work into it to build your own model, but you cannot. That's just fine-tuning, because the baseline technology still has to scrape from the internet everything that you put on the internet without your consent, without paying you. So that, for me, that's not fair. If I use it at all, if I use any type of Gen AI at all, I'm not being fair with my fellow creators. You know, I'm taking their work, and whatever AI is doing to change it, I'm still taking their work without paying them. So that's not good. I don't want that to be done to me.
So there's a
right?
difficult issues there.
Exactly. But I'm not like entirely against all AI, right? Because we all understand that Gen AI is just one very small sliver, one corner of the AI market. There are a lot of different technologies in terms of AI that are being applied very well and very effectively in different industries, including the art industries. For example, at Pixar Studio in California, they have been using AI for years, not just in the last few years, and it's not Gen AI. It's not the technology out there that you can find from different companies. They build their own technology in-house, and that AI is to help speed up their process of creating CG animation, help simulating different types of movements that would be very time consuming and very difficult for human to actually do for every single frame. So those kind of things are very helpful, and I'm not going to say no for everything. And especially if you look at the medical industry, there are a lot of AI technologies that are helping people finding out earlier illnesses from patients that help saving lives. You know.
Yeah, sure. And the use of CGI now is so prevalent in everything that
Exactly.
we see.
Yeah.
Even on a very simple film where it doesn't really require any special effects.
Exactly. You never know.
Yeah. So you could be in a studio in Vietnam and the backdrop would be Eiffel Tower in Paris.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And that makes everything so much easier.
Yeah.
So do you use AI in your work?
Actually, I'm working on a project right now. My next short film, it'll called Made in Vietnam.
Okay.
And it's funny how it's a story about AI. You know, actually for past few years, I'm keep thinking about the world, the contemporary world that we are lived in, when we see the AI or the technology has somehow days and days like replacing the presence and the caring, the labor of human. So I think it's really important, like the question now, like what it is to make us human, you know? When we have a completely perfect generated version that can help us doing anything. So that's why I have this idea of making a film about it. I can't like say too much, but it's gonna be my first time using AI for this film, for this specific few scenes in the film.
It's interesting you're using AI to address the question.
It's just a question that use AI.
Yeah.
And I'm not covering it. I mean, I don't know if like how far the AI have coming at this age, but it's really I can feel it whenever I see any footage or any material that was like generated by AI. I knew that it was AI. And there's a certain things to it. Same with a certain thing that like a mystery you can tell when before we talk about the Vietnamese spirit or the national or the distinctive voice or you sprinkle it. So I think AI also have that. And I see that not as a threat, but as a very interesting
but it's interesting
material. Its own.
Because usually with animation, filmmaking, games design, quality usually equates to time spent to create that quality.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yes.
And you can sometimes tell from watching a really good animation, even just a few seconds of it.
Yeah, sure.
You know that the studio probably spent 6 months to create that 2 seconds of movement. And then you can really see the quality and the detail in the work. So maybe AI is not there yet to replace the quality or the time aspect, because as you say, the human aspect is that we need to incorporate the aspect of time into the work in order to create the quality that we are hoping to achieve, right? Yeah.
Also, one of the things I think a lot about is that when I decided to go into this kind of job, it was not because it was easy.
No,
Obviously, if it was easy, if I'm looking for something easy, I would do something else, right? I went into this because it was hard, because I want to do this really hard thing. I want to achieve this kind of impossible things that I saw people doing on TV all those years ago.
Yeah.
So if it's making it that much easier, like, I mean, back in the days they drew on papers, right? It was very hard. Now I'm drawing on the computer. I'm still drawing on the computer. I'm still doing it just like how they did it, just on a computer screen. If it's making it that much easier, that means I'm not drawing anymore. I'm just waiting for the computer to give me something, and then I'm going back in and fix it. Then I'm not doing the things that I went into this job to do in the first place, right? So that's why.
Yeah, and just for the younger audience who might not appreciate the amount of work that goes into a second of animation, usually you have to draw 24 frames, right? 24 separate drawings to create 1 second of animation.
Yes.
Yeah. Using digital technology probably speeded up that process.
A lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah. But nevertheless, you still need to draw many frames.
And you still, actually, you still do that action. You're still holding a pen and draw the picture. You're not typing, right? Typing is a different skill. You can do it in other job, but in my job, it's still drawing.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned about not choosing something that's easy. You know, I think we all experience that. We all make that choice of, I'm doing this because it's hard, because it's challenging, because it's worthwhile doing. In filmmaking, it's the same, right? I'm sure that is very complex and complicated to organize a shoot, for example. Never mind filming. And then when you actually film the film, it demands a lot of concentration and detail and so on and so on. So I'm just wondering then, not now, but maybe earlier in your career, have you faced, maybe give an example of a particular challenge that you have to overcome? Maybe you can share that with the audience. What would be your example?
I think the human aspect is very important in filmmaking, because as I told you before, that like I start out as like I want to be a filmmaker. But when we were all younger, we went through teenager and we become, going through adulthood, we become somebody. Then we have to overcome so many challenges of your own self, and communicating is one of them. I think like with film, that really helped me going over that thing, that I have to constantly connect to people or communicate to people. That's one challenge that really I have to face with, especially when you were younger. Your network is not that big. And you have, when you're an independent filmmaker, you don't have much budget. Also, when you first start out, you don't have much budget, so it's really
no budget at all.
No budget at all. So it's really based on the experience of like seeing people, like going door to door, asking and persuading people to join you. Thick skin that really you can get turned down so many times.
And it's very challenging for young creators, right?
Yes, sure.
To have that experience right at the beginning. And again, this is about time, developing your experience over time. What about you?
Yeah, I feel like what Zuyang just said is a very familiar experience that a lot of artistic leaning young people face, especially introverts like myself.
Yes, a lot of creators are
Yeah.
introverts, right?
Before going to the US to study, I was super introvert. I was afraid of people. I didn't have a lot of friends. All of my friends are online, so it's much easier to talk to people online. But I don't have the habit of talking to people that I don't know. So me right now is a very different person than me back in the days. And when I went to the US, I learned the skill to open my mouth, to face my fear, and actually learned how to talk to people, and that's how I overcome that fear. But for me, the challenge that I faced earlier in my career when I came back to Vietnam and started my own company with a group of friends was that we couldn't find people who have the kind of skills, the kind of skill set that we're looking for to be able to achieve what we want to do. And one of the things that we decided very early on was that we have to be the people who help young people to learn that. Because even when I came back to Vietnam, that was in 2018. Not a lot of people out there, young people out there who are skilled in animation. So whoever we take into our company, our studio, new artists, we have to teach them. We have to give them that knowledge and skills. So that's how we still trying to overcome that challenge of lacking people who can do the things that we want them to do.
What about you?
When I firstly graduated, like it was in the middle of COVID.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so I came back to Vietnam, and having no like real like community, because like I do experimental film and documentary, and there's such no market in Vietnam at that time. Even now, especially after the disappear of several places like Dog Lab or Cinematheque. So I having really to face with the problem that I have no community. So it's very organically that I become like a part of going to collaborate with anybody that I can at that time, from the local music artists.
Very challenging.
Yeah, from the local music artists to a lot of like contemporary artists when they want to do their own like moving image piece. I was there. It's like the way that you can just keep maintaining your life a bit, but also sharpen your craft when there are no such things to do at that time.
How do you build your community of artists?
I was very lucky that I found like 3 girls at that time. They call themselves Bubble Air. So it's a group of like so many different artists and curator and producer. We live in the same house together.
Okay, so you're able to work together.
So we have this thing that because we're coming from different background, so we asking question, what can we do together at that time? Yeah. So we really believe in a thing called like multidisciplinary collaboration, that what I can do for you or what you can do for me, and sharing the heritage together. That's how we start Baboe. Like it's a house that people can go in. Babo means pregnant woman.
I see.
So it's like a womb for any young artist who don't have like a place to go or community to go. To go there, just hanging out and then working together, taking over the space. Like for example, I came in, I said I want to make a cinema room here. So we just put that on, and so many people, like also artists coming from different backgrounds, hang out there, and later on we become a community. Yeah. And people who use the space then they start to have like a sense of ownership to the space, and that's how it's sustained. You feel the ownership, and you feel the need to do something for the space and for that community. So it's like a very healthy circle of what I think is really what happened now, like not only in Vietnam but like country like in the Southeast Asia in general, that like artists we stick as like a collective.
Yeah. And I think that's really, really important, right? The building of the community, maintaining the community, and growing the community. It takes a lot of work, but the bigger the community, obviously, would create more opportunities and ideas and collaborations and so on. Yeah. So, would you say then, in your line of work, and I suppose any creative discipline, collaborations are so important, right? Yeah. You can't just sort of work by yourself. And sometimes students are or young designers, they're very afraid of working with people. Or they don't know how to. So at RMIT, for example, we do group work, a lot of group work with students, so they have a better understanding and experience of how to approach working with others. We talked a lot about your work and producing work and so on. I'm just wondering, how do you connect your narrative or your work with your audience? It's probably just as hard as the actual creation itself, right? Finding an audience for your work, right? Could you maybe talk about the strategies that you use to disseminate your work, maybe in Vietnam or globally?
I'm gonna take the first question first about how we reach the audience. One of the things that I do a lot, aside from drawing, is I write a lot as well. So I write blogs. Anything that I care about deeply, I will spend some time to sit down and write it out. Just try to articulate what I'm thinking, because usually my thoughts are very messy and chaotic in my head, and when I can write it down into words, I can basically visualize and structure my ideas easier. So I do the same thing when I work on my films. Everything starts out as a bunch of really chaotic images in my head, and different ideas and different influences from different places. But before I can write it down, it's nothing. And then when I write it down, when I draw it out, make it into storyboards, when I can do the sketches of the characters, then I can put them into reality. I can make them become something real that I can touch. And for me, that's the kind of that translates from writing to drawing and to animation, because it's expressing yourselves. It's trying to let the world understand who you are, what you're trying to say. It's also the same thing when I work with different artists in the studio as well, because if I want them to do something, if I want them to draw something for me, I have to be able to tell them what it is I want. Because if I fail that, they will draw out something very different from what I imagined in my head, right? Even when I draw something very different from what I imagined in my head. And then when I tell somebody else, it's going to be even way different, more different. So learning how to write, learning how to turn your thoughts into words first is very important. No matter what you do, you have to learn that, because that's communication. And when you are able to communicate your ideas clearly and in a clear, understandable structure, you can turn that into anything you want. Either it's song, either it's dance, either it's filmmaking or animation. It should start with your instinctive language that you grew up learning and using first.
And that comes through experience.
Exactly.
So basically, the more that you do, the more that you can understand.
Yep.
Yeah, what
Exactly.
you need to do.
Yeah.
And is it the same with you?
It's the same.
How do you
Like
connect with your audience?
whatever I think about my process as an artist, I always thinking I'm a black hole. I'm a black hole that like, if I touch like inside of me, if I reach it far enough, I will touch the little world or the bigger world inside. You know, because like I do believe that as a human being, and my micro narrative can be like, if I getting as close as possible with, I feel like we're chaotic inside. Everybody a little bit crazy inside. But when, we can be very vulnerable and honest to your work, I think that's when your voice can reach out to the world.
Yeah. So you start with the micro, and it will reach out to the macro.
I do think
I strongly believe if you have a very strong narrative, story to tell, it would engage people. The emotive aspect is there, right? People
There's an idea that I really like. I think I read it somewhere. It says that we are, as humans, our experience is actually the universe experience itself.
That's true.
It sounds very deep, right? But but for me, it's very understandable. It's very easy to understand that idea, because whatever we do right now, we are impacting the world. Our experience, no matter if it's Vietnamese or international, there is always something universal right there. Your human experience,
it's true.
Right?
It's true.
Your relationships with people, the way that you behave, the way you talk, no matter where you come from, it's human. And when you have the human element in your work, it doesn't matter who the audience is, they will be able to connect.
They will find you.
Exactly. And the important thing about creating art in our line of work is that we have to be very honest with ourselves. We should not try to be someone else. Don't try to tell somebody else's story without understanding it, without having that connection.
So it has to be authentic.
Exactly.
Even when you're trying to be somebody else, try to asking why.
Exactly.
Don't stop asking why you want to do such thing. And I also think in general, it's like you always have to be like two sides, like two extreme of a spectrum. One's that very vulnerable, honest with what you think, and the second side is like you constantly have to sharpen your tool, so you can communicate through you and to the audience and to the people that you work with is very important. I do agree that writing is such a powerful tool, because like whenever you textualize, like it's like the real like communicating tool to the people you work with. And it's true.
I wish we can spend all day talking about this. It's really interesting, and certainly for me as an outsider to Vietnam, it's very insightful to understand more about how creative people like you work in Vietnam. So thank you for sharing your fantastic, insightful experiences with us, particularly the younger designers, graduates, and creators. Before we wrap up then, maybe just one wisdom that you can share with the young creators.
This might not have anything to do with my job, but maybe it does. Have empathy.
Empathy.
Yes, because having empathy means you will have the ability to understand other people.
Yes.
And when you understand who other people are, you will have more experiences. You will have more stories to tell. So when you have more stories to tell, you will be a better artist.
Very good. What about you?
Lately, I think a lot about this quote that people who control the present being controlled by the past, and who control the past is actually the people who control the future.
That's good.
So as somebody that like, as we both like making film, we all know very well that we have our tool to like rewrite or recreate or writing a narrative, a piece of time. aware of it, that we're very powerful, and
we're stopping time.
We're stopping time.
We're
We're very
creating
powerful
time.
with that.
Yeah.
So it comes with big responsibility.
And it's cool because we're both filmmakers, so we are both working with time. Actually.
Time.
So you're both very powerful people.
Powerful people, aware of that, aware of your superpower.
So more responsibility.
More responsibility.
Well, thank you
Empathy.
so much. On behalf of RMIT Vietnam and Project Pluto, we want to extend our warmest thank you.
Thank you
so much
For sharing your time and your experiences with us. I hope the young generation of designers, creators in Vietnam would take heed of some of your advice and words of wisdom. And we hope to develop more podcast sessions over time, and it will be archived in our Creative Economy Initiative website. So once again, thank you both, and I wish you continue to do more fantastic work so that you would put creativity and filmmaking, animation, etc. in the world map for Vietnam.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Wrap.